What do Anna Wintour, Angelina Jolie, and Jennie all have in common? It's not their fame, looks, or money. Yet the moment they walk into a room or onto a screen, you cannot look away. And without even realizing it, you become a little obsessed. And it's not just celebrities. There's probably a woman in your own life who has this exact same thing. Maybe at work, maybe in your friend group. She's not the most conventionally attractive, her outfit isn't the most expensive, she might not even say much. But somehow, people are still drawn to her. What does she have that others don't? Hi honeys, welcome back to
Honey.
Today, I'm breaking down exactly what these women do differently. The patterns, the behaviors, the mindset, and what you can actually take from it. The first thing is that she doesn't give you everything. That's it. You know that person who within 10 minutes of meeting them you already know their ex's name, their childhood trauma, their work drama, their whole situationship from 2 years ago. All of it, before you even asked? And you don't dislike them. But something in your brain just quietly switches off. Because there's nothing left to discover. There's actually a name for this in psychology. It's called the information gap. The brain doesn't settle when it senses incomplete information. It becomes quietly obsessed with filling it. These women live in that gap. They give you just enough, and then they stop. And your brain goes home that night thinking about them without even realizing it's happening. She's not doing it as a strategy. She just genuinely doesn't feel the need to explain herself to every person she meets. She doesn't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Now you'd think, okay, she doesn't overshare. She keeps to herself. She must be cold, right? Nope. Actually, the complete opposite. And this is what I call the posture of the unbothered. You know how some people, when things get awkward or tense, they amplify it. They react. Most of us do this and it's completely human. But some people just don't get pulled in. Like, it doesn't even reach them. And we throw the word confident around all the time. Just be confident. Cool, super helpful. But what confidence actually looks like in a woman who has it for real. Not performed, not rehearsed, but real. It looks like being unbothered in a way that isn't cold. Let me explain what I mean by that. Most people, when they want to seem confident, they do this thing where they shut down. They go quiet. But the women who are genuinely magnetic, they're warm and unbothered. They can laugh freely and still not need your approval. Behavioral psychologists call this non-anxious presence. It's used to describe leaders who stay completely grounded even when the room is on fire. These women have it socially. When someone tries to dim their light, they don't react defensively. When someone ignores them, they don't perform harder to get attention back. People are drawn to calm the way they're drawn to fire when it's cold outside. At the end of the day, she has her own life, and she's not waiting around. She's not waiting for a text, and she's not putting her life on hold for a relationship. They're building something, going somewhere, and their opinions shaped by real experience, not just whatever's trending. They laugh at their own inside jokes, and they have quiet mornings that belong completely to them. And here's the psychological reason this is so incredibly attractive to everyone around them. Men, women, everyone. We are wired to be drawn toward people who don't need us. It sounds backwards, but think about it. When someone clearly has a full life without you, and then chooses to include you, that choice means everything. You weren't a necessity. You were a selection. Compare that to someone whose happiness visibly depends on your response time or who needs constant validation. That's not a magnet. That's a mirror of anxiety, and anxiety is contagious. But a woman with a full, thriving inner world, she walks into a room and you can feel that she doesn't need it. And suddenly, you want to be the reason she stays. But before we continue, I want to ask you something. Have you ever met someone like this? Comment down below if you have. Or maybe you've heard people say this about you. The next thing is, she knows exactly when to leave. She knows when it's time to walk away. From conversations, from situations, and from relationships. She doesn't cling to a moment past its peak trying to squeeze more out of it, and doesn't keep talking when the conversation has already given everything it had. She just reads it and goes. Think about the opposite. You know that feeling when someone just won't let a moment end? When a conversation has clearly peaked but they keep going. When someone stays just a little too long and suddenly the whole energy feels different. You feel it. Everyone feels it. But her? She leaves while the moment is still good. While people are still leaning in. While they still want more. And the second she's gone, people notice. Not because she announced her exit. Just because the room felt it. There's something about a person who isn't desperate to hold on to every moment, who trusts that good things will keep coming, that makes people want them to stay. And that's the quiet power of knowing your exit. And when she's actually with you, that's when you really feel it. Because this next one, selective attention, is the one nobody talks about. They don't give everyone the same level of attention. And I don't mean that in a dismissive or rude way. I mean they are genuinely present with the people they're speaking to, like almost hyper-present, and then they're just not with everyone else. It's not about being exclusive. It's about being intentional. When she talks to you, you feel like the only person in the room. She responds to the feeling behind your words, not just the words themselves. And then the conversation ends. And you go home feeling like you just had one of the best conversations of your life, even if it was only 7 minutes long. There's research on this. People don't rate conversations as meaningful based on how long they were, but on how seen they felt during them. Most of us are walking around half seen, starving for someone to actually be present with us. She does that. Not as a technique. Just because she's genuinely curious about whoever's in front of her. Rare things are magnetic. It's that simple. And then the last one. The thing she never does. The biggest thing that separates the women who walk into a room and immediately command it from the ones who go completely unnoticed. They don't apologize for taking up space. Not physically, verbally, energetically. They don't add, "I don't know, maybe I'm wrong" at the end of every sentence. They don't make themselves smaller so that someone else can feel bigger. Most of us, and this is deeply human, were conditioned somewhere along the way to minimize ourselves. To be less of a disruption. By school, by relationships, and by 1,000 tiny moments we barely even remember anymore. And a lot of women internalize that so deeply they don't even notice they're doing it. But the ones who are impossible to ignore? Somewhere along the way, they unlearned it. They decided, consciously or not, that their presence was not a problem to be managed. That their needs were not inconveniences. That their voice didn't need to come with an apology at the end of it. And slowly, without making a big deal out of it, they just started taking up the space they were always supposed to have. The women who are impossible to ignore aren't doing more than everyone else. And none of that is something you're born with. And look, I'm not forcing you to try any of this. Just be yourself. Because you might already be unforgettable to someone right now. Without changing a single thing. You just haven't noticed yet. Because you've been too busy wondering if you're enough. You are.